There is always a profound link between the character of the terrain and the culture that arises there. Nowhere is this more evident than in New York. Take a look at the harbor. A mile across to New Jersey, 5 miles to Staten Island. That is the only harbor in the world big enough and deep enough to float the entire modern U.S. Navy, a fundamental advantage to the United States, much less this city. But New Yorkers occasionally notice something a little odd about the waterways surrounding Manhattan. Most winters, the Hudson River freezes up. Here comes January, the Hudson's gonna freeze. But the East River is always clear. The East River almost never freezes because it is not a river at all. It's an arm of the ocean, which means the East River is salt water. What do we toss on ice in the winter to get it melted down? Salt. Salt water freezes at a significantly lower temperature than fresh, and there are saltwater ponds in the Antarctic that never freeze. Above a given latitude in the New World, there was one single port that offered the world's sailing ships year-round ice-free access. The greatest seaport of all time, on the salty side of Manhattan, the South Street Seaport. Not to mention the presence of the Mohawk Valley, 150 miles north, essential to New York and American history. New York City was going to use these natural resources to advantage, to extreme advantage. In 1664, a British officer wrote home, at a time when New York was populated by 1,500 people, a British officer wrote home, "It is as though God intends the trade of the world to locate itself here on this little island, so far away from civilization." And in the 1780s, George Washington wrote, "New York is destined to become the great city of the world." Psychiatry says anatomy is destiny. Philosophy says character is fate. History says past is prologue. But the most compelling factor in human behavior is geography. Wrote Will and Ariel Durant, geography is the matrix of history. Its nourishing mother and disciplining home. Napoleon said, geography is destiny.